So getting back to Tribes 2, because I really want to show this off. Let me go to YouTube. There's a video that pretty much shows Blizzard don't care. Of course Blizzard doesn't care. But this is what was cool about Dynamics, was they released the game for free, and the modding community was so well supported because mods were always a thing back in the day, as you can guess. They were not against mods. Now, Blizzard doesn't support mods. They don't want you to mod their games. Dynamics at least allowed the community to mod the game and patch it so that they could run their own servers, because it used to have 2 master servers that had to respond to or something like that. So we figured out what those were, made some mods, found or made our own patch, got it working. This game works on Windows and Linux. I had it working on my old install. I got to reinstall it. Hold on. Straight capping Tribes 2. I think that's what it was. Capping it out. Okay. So I want to show you. This is Tribes 2. Okay. Probably going to get some copyright for the music over here. So we're going to do the responding, the talking over it. Because this was back in the day when YouTube didn't really have have monetization and everything, and nobody really cared. Okay, this video's from 15 years ago. Like, I want you to see, this is the game I grew up with. This is how we used to do it. Now imagine this in modern gameplay. You'd literally do capture the flag with flying bases, jetpacks, and this is what the community still supports these days. And then you'd ski down. There's a whole new mechanic. So you'd actually fly in. Team player would come in with the Shrike while you got the flag. You're getting shot at from behind. Like, you had to do straight up teamwork with this. I don't see shit like this happening in games like today. Fly straight across the base. And this is, I think, in the base version. Yeah, base version, because he's got an energy with his jetpack. Ultra VX and Ultra XL, your jetpack would be infinite. Nobody would care about vehicles, because you would just spawn, die, go. Get in, die. That's how it was. KD ratio? What's that? So this is how we used to do it back in the day. Really intense. Oh, reset pipe wire? Oh, yeah. Hold on. But this is what I would love to get going with us. Yeah, I got to reset pipe wire, because otherwise you can't hear the audio. Here, let me get the, so you can get the vibe of the music with me. Okay, like I said, ski in, get the Shrike. Now, these maps were a lot larger, so imagine you had a Fortnite-sized map. Or what is it, Call of Duty Warzone. You'd cover that with a jetpack, fly around, everything. Vehicles, there's just straight chaos. No control support? Yeah. Controllers couldn't keep up with this, because you gotta see how fast they're shifting around the mouse and everything. Just imagine once they get through. And that's a spin fuser disc coming in, so you'd have this disc, like a frisbee, blows up like that. The reason why you'd shoot down there is one of the tactics was you drop a mine on the flag and you'd blow the person coming up. So you would always check for a mine coming in. Now you could also have these portable bases too in some of these bigger mods like, shit, what was it? War, I think it was. There were so many mods. It was hard to keep track of them. War 2000, I think it was. So yeah, the trick was you'd have to jetpack up, ski, and then you'd have teammates plant things, and you'd have to coordinate. And the mic would be in-game. This is how it used to be back in the day. And if you did anything, it was maybe like TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, if you didn't want to use the in-game mic, because it was crap. But yeah, that's your vehicle base right there. Of course, everybody would be blowing up your terminals. shot of flare. Because you'd have missiles to lock on, everything, different armor classes. There wasn't any of this microtransaction stuff. You hit your numpad for enter on your, getting all your gear set up, and you just have them programmed in. This was a very, very teamwork-focused game. And he just knocked him with the Shrike. But this took a lot of precision. Like, I couldn't keep up with it. So when you see, like, me go with Halo and everything, a lot of my shooting skills I learned from this game. But this is what I want to get the community doing eventually soon when we get enough people interested. Free game, like anyone could play this game. You have an Intel integrated graphics card today? More than enough. Oh, this is Tribes 2 gameplay. But this is nostalgia for me. This is my all-time favorite game. So if I ever got like a dozen people saying, yeah, we want to play Tribes, shit, yeah. I'd love to fire up a Tribes server again. I remember my first server I ever hosted was a Tribes 2 server running the Ultra XL mod. I remember I used to back up the config on a floppy disk. Well, I have a Discord server, so we definitely got to coordinate that. The one thing we'd have to figure out is if we did Tribes, we'd have to use Discord chat, and we'd have to organize the different people to be in the Discord channels for the channel, the different teams and stuff, probably, because we don't want to fire up TeamSpeak and Ventrilo on top of this these days. The game that taught Chief to be a professional esports gamer. It'd take me probably a good couple of weeks to get back into my Tribes 2 format. You know, not format, shape. I can tell some of these maps are custom because I don't think I even came across that map over there. What I'd have to relearn is how to do server-side map loading. Or we'd have to get the map packs and everything going. See, look, he just flew out of bounds to blow him up. There was a huge modding community for this stuff. Custom skins, everything. I can tell his HUD is modified because you used to not see your speed or anything, if I can recall. And you didn't have colors there. This is where a lot of the games that had the idea of emotes also came from, too. You still got the floppy? No, the floppy disk is a bit rotted. I checked it a couple of years ago when I ran into it. I'm gonna have to get all new configs and everything.